Wait, what do you mean Iz is on his way to Japan? I'm running this solo? You've got to be crazy. Hey guys, I am your host, Cloie Wyatt Taylor, and you may be wondering, hey, things look a little different. What's going on? Where's Iz? Well, I am here to tell you that our beloved Iz will be joining us back next week. Right now, he is in Japan in concert with Usher. So next week, we're going to get to hear everything about his North Dakota trip and his just everything trip. He's been so busy. He's a man on the go. I'm going to backtrack for just 1 second and do another super special shout out to Jacinta Willis, aka Cool J Love Music. We have been featuring her opening and closing song at the very, very top and end of each show. She sent it in to us, and we want to hear, so Jacinta, hi, girl, hi. I know solo happens sometimes. So you guys, we want to hear what you come up with too. Make sure you're sending us your stuff. connected@rrfedu.com/connected. Nope, that's where you apply for the jobs. I always do that. But we want to hear all about your music. We want to hear your music. And we would love to sample some of your music. Connected@rrfedu.com. So what else is going on today? Oh, duh. If you're watching us, make sure you're watching us live on our official Powered by Recording Connection version. You can also be watching us on Facebook Live because we do streaming there. We're also on Instagram. We're on the Twitter. We're on the Google+. You can find us where? It is connected. And of course, if you're looking for us personally, you got Iz_Avila. And me, I'm at Always Cloie. That is CLOIE, no H. Because if you put an H in it, I'm going to be mad. So shout out to all the people that are giving so much solo love. I love it. Without further ado, I think today what we're going to do, since I'm in charge, is we're going to jump right into the Grind Opps. Because that's what you came here for. Plus, oh, guys, wait, I have to say, you have to stick around after Grind Opp 5. I'm going to take that again. You have to stick around after Grind Opp 5 because we might have a super special announcement. So you just hang on there. Okay, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting with Grind Opp number 1, which is coming to us in the recording field. This is for an audio engineer out of Greensboro, North Carolina. It is for a recording studio that's seeking an engineer that will be in charge of recording demo sessions. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? The engineer will be working closely with songwriters and producers to achieve the desired sound. He or she will be responsible for engineering, tuning vocals, and rough mixing each session. And candidate must be familiar with Pro Tools, Melodyne, and Auto-Tune. Discretion and utmost professionalism required. So now that's a very specific note. Just a word on discretion. Much like the conversation that we had about the NDA or the non-disclosure agreement, it just means just don't talk about it. Like Vegas, what happens in the studio stays in the studio, I think is probably a fair way to see it. I mean, am I right? So what else did they say? We got that, working closely with songwriters and producers to achieve the desired sound. Great. So you're going to be working with a lot of personalities, and sometimes certain personalities require certain amounts of attention, whereas others do not. So basically, you need to have a little patience and know how to work well with others, because it's not about you. It's about telling the story through the music. Am I right? So then... Wait, I also have to shout out to Katz, who says, hey, Iz has gotten a little darker and better looking. Really, Katz? Damn it, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, back to the Grind Opps. What else can we say? Responsible for engineering, tuning vocals, and rough mixing each session, needs to be familiar with Pro Tools, Melodyne, and Auto-Tune. So basically, you need to know your, right? This is not a job for the faint of heart. And also, this is a job where you need to be a little bit of a jack of all trades. Got to have a great ear for sure, especially if you're doing rough mixing. I keep going back to this discretion and utmost professionalism because I have an image of what the opposite of that looks like. And I know it won't be any of our recording film connection people or culinary people, right? Anyway, so that's Grind Op number 1. Moving right along to Grind Op number 2. This is coming to us in the field of film, and it's for a video editor in Miami, Florida. A multimedia company that focuses on creating social media content for restaurants is seeking a video editor. Editor will be responsible for editing online video and audio, as well as archiving source material in the video content library. Candidate must have a video reel that displays a strong technical and creative ability to create quality video content. I'm going to say that one more time. Candidate must have a video reel that displays a strong technical and creative ability to create quality video content. Bookmark that. We're going to come back to it. Candidate must be able to work well under pressure when juggling multiple projects while adhering to tight deadlines. Motion and graphic design is a plus. This is all very, very straightforward. These are all things that we have discussed before. Motion and graphics, it's not an easy world. Brush up on those skills because we're seeing those jobs more and more, right? So to go back to our bookmark, right, just to rewind for a second, candidate must have a video reel. We've discussed video reels, yes? We actually have something in our Q&A where we can hit on that just a little bit. The question is, what is a video reel, sizzle reel, all of these sorts of things? Guys, this is your digital calling card. This is your visual calling card. They may not see you, but this work is going to hit them before you ever do, right? And you want to hit them in the face with your amazingness. So for this one, it says displays a strong technical and creative ability to create quality video content. Another thing about these reels, and somebody was asking about resumes a long time ago, right? Now, granted, it's cheaper to change a resume than it is a video reel, but that's not also, I think that there's something to be said about being able to find ways where maybe you have more than one reel that will highlight certain strengths. This is, what is this? Oh, it's from Miami, Florida. Did I say that already? They're focusing on creating social media content for restaurants. You're dealing with food. It's all about making the steak look sexy. You make that cream corn look creamy, right? So that's telling a different story than, say, a sports editor, which is saying totally another different story than what we were talking about kids content, right? Different energies, different looks, different feels, and to know how to adjust your reels and what have you to highlight those strengths so that you can give them exactly what they're asking for, because they're asking for editors. Because I said that already and I'm saying it again. So that's Grind Op number 2. Any questions? So let's move into Grind Op number 3, which is also coming to us from recording. Shout out recording. And this one is for an audio engineer out of Houston, Texas. It is an independent production company that is seeking a part-time audio engineer for various projects. He or she will be responsible for setting up microphones and recording audio for studio and field shoots. Engineer will be mixing interpretation and recording audio video feeds from multiple local and remote locations. He or she will be meeting with producers and performers in order to determine the desired sound for production. Candidate must be punctual and organized. So here's the thing, guys. You know how we always say hashtag overperform? This is for sure one of those times. Hashtag overperform, because this is another one of those situations where you're talking about full behind the scenes, but like as in working boards and also dealing with people, right? And how you do, well, how you do one thing in life is how you do everything. But being able to navigate those differences so that you can successfully win at both of them, that's the trick, okay? Meeting with producers and performers. Again, we go back to that whole discussion of energies and personalities and what that means inside and how you can quiet your own voices and your own ego, right, to get the job done. Not only to get the job done successfully, but to make the fans that will then bring you back or send you on to the next, right? And then on the backside, you're talking about knowing your equipment, because you're talking about local and remote locations, and God only knows what could be happening should you go off site and into the field and someplace far, far away, like a galaxy far, far away. Shout out Star Wars on that note. So knowing your stuff, knowing how to talk to people, knowing your equipment, being able to collaborate, which is less about speaking and more about listening. Oh, we are dropping knowledge. Where are you? You are missing it. All of these things play a part. I mean, and it's an independent production company, so it's also a great way to make your bones and to maybe jump in on jobs that you wouldn't necessarily get to right away should you work, or if you were working with a bigger company, right? There's more of a call for that jack of all trades sort of situation. And it's seeking part-time audio engineer for various projects, which is also great because that means that you're going to get to play across the board and maybe even find out what it is that you really, really like. And again, back to the punctual and organized part. I feel like I don't maybe need to say that because we know, right? Great. All right. So now we're going to move into Grind Op number 4. And this is in the field of film. Shout out to Film Connection folk. This is for a film TV composer out of La Mesa, California. A production company is seeking a film composer that will create audio to film. Candidate must be able to play all instruments of the composition, no pre-recorded loops. He or she will be working with multiple film producers. Candidate must be able to work in a fast-paced, intense environment. Previous film work is preferred. All right. So if you don't do well under pressure, I love you. I really do. But this is probably not your grind up, because you're talking about when they say that you need to be able to play all instruments of the composition, no pre-recorded loops. You're not just submitting a beat. No, no, no. Oh, no, 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 no. You are composing to the actual footage. I don't know if anybody out there has ever done voiceover work or dubbing or anything like that, but it is an art that is all in itself. It's about hitting beats, not like beats. I could be a drummer in my next life. But you are creating a mood, you're following the mood, the feel, and you're telling your own story, right? So let me try that one more time. You are telling the story of this film, but through music. So it's like you're an additional character, an added voice. Think of yourself as a narrator. So that's real specific. Just like real specific. And it is not for the faint of heart because it can get heated. We all know musicians. We're all musicians in some way, shape, or form. And we all know directors. Or maybe if you don't, you're talking about two sides to a very, very similar sort of coin. Okay. And it is fast-paced. You're working under strict deadlines. There's so much money at stake. And if you screw up, you mess up, you're costing people thousands of dollars, just like anything, at least thousands of dollars. But at the same time, for the right candidate, this job is great. Because to be a musical storyteller in this world, come on, it just doesn't get better than that. So yeah, that's for a film and TV composer coming out of La Mesa, California. I think I hit all the points. yeah, you're working with multiple film producers. Again, this running train of lots of different personalities. And I think one of the things that's super helpful that I have found in dealing with multiple personalities is this little thing that we do, we always forget, and that's breathing. And that sometimes to just check in when things get heated and tempers flare a little bit, and to just breathe it in, breathe it out, and to know that it is not you, right? Unless it is you, and then just take responsibility, because nobody wants somebody that points fingers. Ooh. Where are we? Guys, are we already here at Grind Up 5? No, I hate it. I mean, I love the grind oppiness of it, but oh no. Anyway, back to Grind Ops, Grind Op number 5. We got a dual city Grind Op. That's awesome. This is in the field also of recording. It is for an audio engineer in Atlanta, Georgia, as well as Chicago, Illinois. Shout out, shout out. It's for a nonprofit organization that focuses on creating stories and songs for kids in need. And it's still seeking audio engineers in Atlanta and Chicago. Candidate must have knowledge of music styles, artists, and songs. He or she must be able to bring unique audio contributions to the show using popular music, sound effects, and innovative ideas. Candidate will be working with a team that is detail-oriented, willing to try new things, and accept new challenges. This just sounds like a whole bunch of team players, guys. So if you got a big ego, this is probably not for you. A little ego can fuel you. Just know when to check it at the door, right? So what do we got here? Let's break this one down. It's a nonprofit, so you're already, like, it's about giving back already, and you're dealing with kids. So that's another specific voice in and of itself. Being able to create music and sounds that appeal to children is an art form. Same thing with, like, again, the world of the voiceover is so closely linked to all of this. But you are now taking everything we just discussed with that other grind up, right, and telling the story through music, through sound, and now turning it on its head a little bit to also make it appealing to children. This is great because it is in both Atlanta and Chicago, so that the more the merrier in terms of opportunity and availability and accessibility and all that sort of stuff. The other thing about working with or working in kids programming is that when you do tell that story, it's like you have to take these huge ideas and pare them down and make them palatable to a little pint-sized person, right? So that they are able to understand. You ever watch a cartoon? I love cartoons. No shade, no shame. I love them. And you ever watch something, or like a Pixar film, you're like, yeah, that's good. And you find yourself as a fully grown adult enjoying the story that's being told. It's like phyllo dough, right? Like so many different layers, or a 7-layer dip. That is the power of children's programming that can tell a story in a very clear way that, you know, sometimes as adults in our projects, we can get lost in the artistry of it all. But you don't have that if you're talking to a 4-year-old. You need to get it in there and get it out there, those ideas, so that they sit and can grow, right? So you're taking all of that and translating it into sounds, sound effects, ideas, and you're using popular music. So you're probably taking these tunes, and I can't think of anything that is popular, but there's so much stuff that's popular. Taking that and putting a spin on it. So now, hey, maybe you're teaching the alphabet, or shout out to Dora Explorer. There's this kids program called The Backyardigans. I don't even know if it's still on, but that show was genius. I digress. But back to the grind ops. Guys, I've got the attention span of an ant. Yeah, candidate will be working with a team that is detail-oriented, willing to try new things, and accept new challenges. I feel like that's super self-explanatory. Just to be open, right? Just to be open. Here's a little maybe more of a Buddhist sort of thing. When we talk about open and giving, it's the idea of the fist versus the hand. Like, think of the things that you could do with the fist. It's aggressive. You could punch somebody, you could, like, it's all about that, but all the things that you, versus what you can do with the hand, right? So think of team playing as giving with a hand. You're able to give and to receive and to be of service, which is what you would need for this job. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to, oh, wait, guys, did we talk about where you're applying for these jobs? I don't think we did. You are applying for these Grind Opps at rrfedu.com/connected, right? That's where you're applying for these jobs. If you're trying to get in touch with us, you send your email to connected@rrfedu.com, right? So throw that graphic up, rrfedu.com/connected to apply for these jobs. Total shout out. This is going to be a shout out corner, shout out show. We're going to do a shout out, and by we, I mean me, because I'm flying solo today since it's in Japan. Shout out to Jordan Taylor, okay, who just opened a new studio in Houston. And guys, he's looking for recording connection grads to hire. I know, right? What's more, this is a very, very bold move. Jordan Taylor is looking for people to hire because Jordan Taylor has given us a phone number, okay? This is not to be used as a crank call. This is a person that is looking for jobs and is looking for things to happen and to move now. So if you're in the Houston area, you're on your game, you know what's happening, you can hashtag overperform, as all of our recording, film, and culinary folks can. You're going to shout out to Jordan at 281-658-6128. Again, that is 281-658-6128. And that's Jordan Taylor, who has just opened a new studio in Houston and is looking for specifically recording connection grads to hire. So, I mean, like, look at how our people are coming together, right? Yes, just send us a shout out and congratulations, Jordan Taylor. Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know that I could put my phone number up. But you know what? I love a bold move. I am never, ever mad at a bold move. And Jordan Taylor, you're going to have so much greatness coming your way. So now to go back to something that I said at the top of the show. I said to stick around after Grind Off number 5, because there might be a super special announcement. And I was kidding. Just kidding. I actually do have a very, very special announcement. We have a very, very special announcement. So let's see. Today we are on show 34, which means we're presenting jobs 166 through 175, right? And every Monday at 11, we have been coming to you with 5 Grind Opps, ways to connect, a little inspiration, just a dose of love and light to get you through the week and also get you to that next step. What I'm so pleased to be announcing, drum roll please, is that we now have 5 more jobs that we're bringing to you. Yes, you can only get them on your website or on our website, which is, you'll put up the graphic there. But we have video jobs in Arizona and California. We've got radio jobs in New Hampshire and Minnesota, and a culinary job in Pennsylvania. So that's hitting all 3 of our amazing connections, guys. So not only are we bringing you jobs 1 through 5 live and on air, we are giving you jobs 6 through 10 online. That's how you get connected. Stick with us. So now, I mean, look, sorry, our chat feed is like blowing up right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm going to move, I think, now to our Q&A session, which is something that is, and I do really, really love to do. And one of the questions that we got was, what's your favorite social media? Now, if you're asking me, Cloie Wyatt Taylor, personally, what my favorite social media is, I'm going to say Instagram. Just because it's photo-based And there's nothing I love more than to, when I have some downtime from like in a waiting room for an audition, and I'm feeling like I need to separate from the character a little bit, to just scroll through Instagram and get a good laugh or a source of inspiration. I like to follow inspirational things. I also like to follow funny animals. I also like to follow food because Mama likes to eat. Shout out culinary grads and connection. Feed me, Seymour, please. So that's my personal favorite social media. And you can find me across social media at Always Cloie. That is ALWAYSCLOIE. I should probably write it down to make sure I spelled everything correctly. Give me one moment. Yep, that's right. ALWAYSCLOIE. Okay, so another question that we got sent in was from Stephen Foster. Stephen Foster, did you know that you are famous? Or there was once you are famous. You were VEN, but there was a Stephen Foster who was, what do they call him? The father of American music, and wrote like Camptown Races and all of that stuff. So, ooh, that's crazy. So Stephen says, I have a bunch of lyrics. Where do I go from there? And the thing about lyrics is words are beautiful. Words are poetry, right? And music is poetry, but you do also need the music side of it, right? So to be able to take those lyrics and to now put them to some sort of composition that can highlight and enhance them, that's the next step. Because words alone are beautiful, right? Spoken word is huge. Thank you, Hamilton, and so many other things. And also, if you're going to write a song, that is the music is what makes it soar, right? Does that make sense, guys? Right? You can't have one without the other. A song without music is poetry, which is beautiful. It's just not a song as of right now. It's spoken word, which is, God, I love spoken word. Who doesn't love spoken word? Don't answer that. I'm sure lots of people don't, but it's fine. We're not asking you. Okay, so we have, I love that DJ of the Audibles just discovered the official version of Connection. Again, guys, find our official version of Connected, where you can chat and you can give us just 3 questions, and that's what he did. We're talking about powered by recording connection. Find us, find us, find us. We love connecting with you so much. And DJ of the Audibles wants to know, how does a SAG card work and how do you get one? So SAG card, SAG stands for Screen Actors Guild, right? And it used to be separate. It was SAG and it was AFTRA, which is the American Federation for Radio Television Actors, right? So a few years ago, after much back and forth, and I mean much, they merged. So now it's one union, SAG-AFTRA. And how it works is essentially protects actors. Think of it as like a labor union. They regulate your breaks. They regulate your pay scale. It's all set within a structure. If there is anything on set that is wrong, or they're basically your defense. It's like your team of people that are looking out for your benefit. They have offices all over. There's a big office here. Of course, there's a big office in New York. And they are here to support and serve those of us in the film television industry. That's our union. How do you get a SAG card nowadays? I feel like it's almost like selling your firstborn child. Used to be that you could, there's so many ways I can answer this. Essentially nowadays, what you got to do is get points, right? You get enough points, you become a SAG-AFTRA must join. And that's essentially saying that you have to join the union in order to continue to do work. SAG work, which is where you make more money, and we're talking about residuals, which are lovely. All of that sort of stuff comes with being a SAG actor, right? You also have to pay an initiation fee, and I'm going to consult my Google now. I want to know what the initiation fee is for SAG-AFTRA today. Initiation fee, SAG-AFTRA. And if it doesn't, oh, great. So it's now $3,000, okay? But you were fully protected. Back in my day, when I joined SAG a million years ago, they were still two separate unions. And I believe I paid for both unions maybe $1,200. So inflation is real. So yeah, that's how you get a SAG card. You get your points. You pay your initiation. The other way to get in is something called a Taft-Hartley. And that's basically like, I'm using the word of the day, I think is basically, which is fine, I'm with it. If we had a production and I've auditioned all of these people and I have proven to the union that there's only this one actor that can do this part and this actor is non-union, I can Taft-Hartley them into the union, or I can give them a Taft-Hartley, which means they're an automatic must join, and then they can work with us on this union set. It's a very long-winded answer, but you asked, DJ of Audibles. So he also asked, or she, I'm not sure, DJ of Audibles, what goes into a show or demo reel? Do you have any examples of them? Yeah, we can get you some examples of demo reels. What goes into it, much like that grind op that we were discussing. I'm gonna call it back to grind op number 2 for video editor. Your reel is your digital calling card. It is what's gonna sell you before you even get your face in the room. Sometimes it can even sell you faster than a resume, right? Because it's visual and it can automatically appeal to all senses. So that is what a demo reel is. And what you want to do, they can't be long, right? In and out, in and out. Great demo reels I've seen, 2 minutes. Boom, lead with your strong suits. Because the fact of the matter is, if you're a job and think you're getting, if you think about it from your perspective, you are working on a project. Jordan, let's use Jordan. If Jordan were casting something or hiring for something and he's like, I need to see demo reels, and 1,000 people send him his demo reel, send them their demo reels. Do you think Jordan is going to sit and watch? Well, definitely not all 5 minutes of a demo reel if a demo reel is 5 minutes, right? But not even 2. So what you want to do is lead with your strengths. They're in and out. Like if you can't grab them in the first like 15 seconds, you don't have them. You must lead with your strengths or your like kick-ass credits, right? It also needs to be visually stimulating without being crazy, right? Yes, it needs to flow and to be fast-paced, but jump cuts and all of that, nobody needs a seizure. Nobody needs a seizure while looking at your demo reel. So yeah, so we'll get you some examples of that. So then DJ the Audible says, how important is it to go to formal school versus school of hard knocks? Great. Here's my take on that. As a person, my own personal take, because I'm a person that has done both, right? I've been in the game for a long time. And I did go to school. I went to New York University, shout out NYU, Tisch School, fantastic school, and that's formal education. You don't have to do that to be in this field, right? Because the things that school doesn't teach you, well, what the real world experience is like. School is not going to teach you how to what it's like to necessarily work in a fast-paced environment, right? School is not necessarily going to teach you what it's like to be on a set or to be in a studio or anything of that nature, right? School, in essence, is giving you a best world perspective of what it could be, right? Even in school, how they can sometimes knock you down to build you back up, and some schools do that, some schools don't. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, it's still a best world perspective. School, in the real world, you don't know what it's like to fail and fly. And I say fail and fly because there's really no such thing as failure if you're learning, right? You just learn how not to do something. That's all the stuff that you can learn in a real world environment. Fail and then fly. Fail gloriously, fail big and learn. And sometimes it's gonna not work to your advantage and sometimes it will. And that's one of the great things about Recording Connection is you're talking about, yes, a formal education, but also with a real world application. So it's a blend of both worlds, which is what I truly support and believe in. You can't be a student forever. You gotta, or a student of school. You can't be a school student alone. Eventually, you have to graduate and become a student of life. Because you live in this world, you work in this industry, and this industry is unforgiving. It is hard. It can tear you down, and it is also beautiful. And if you are strong enough to breathe your way through it and come up fighting, and also to know when to grab opportunity by the balls or the whatever, that is where the magic is. That is where you learn. And that's when you can unlock just how wonderful this crazy thing that we do is. So let me check in and see, actually. Whew, I got myself all hot under the collar. So what else? Do we have any more questions over here? Oh, you guys, there's so much love here. Oh, Jessica says, it's my first time here too, and I like it as well. I'm loving Chloe's personality. Great. Jessica, girl. Thank you. Michael Dyer, first time on the webinar. Guys, shout out to all of our first timers. Thank you. Keep coming back. We are here every Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can also connect with us across the internet and social media, the interwebs. You're finding us at Is Connected. That's on Twitter. That's on Facebook. That's on, what's that other one? Instagram, the one I love. And of course, Google+. You want to make sure that you are, did you sign up? Have you signed up yet? Have you signed up through our official Powered by Recording Connection? Get in there. We've got so much goodness coming your way, and so many other fabulous new things headed your way. Just scrolling through to make sure I didn't miss anything. What else? Dwight says, Chloe! Dwight! Joel, yes, I did follow you on Twitter last week. I love the socials. Love the socials. For those of you that are just tuning in, Michael Dyer, you want to know how you can submit questions to the Q&A? You can do it if you do it through our official Powered by Recording Connection. You can upload 3. You can also just type them here because I can see that what you're typing, and it's great. But I think that today that's probably going to be it for questions because we got to wrap it up. You can also send your questions into connected at rrfedu.com. And guys, send us your music. Send us your music because right now Jacinta is just blowing y'all out of the water. We want to be able to mix it up, right? You're also going to be hearing from her a little bit as we go out from our show. Did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything. Yeah, tell your friends about us, guys. We love you. We want to have your love. We want to have you here on our show and joining us every week. Once again, next week, DJ Iz will be back with lots of stories from both North Dakota. He better also have some jerky for me. From North Dakota, and also his shows and experiences with Usher and lots of photo fabulousness. So I think that's it. That's about all I got. I will see you next week, same time, same bat channel. I am your co-host, Chloe Wyatt Taylor. Thank you for tuning in and getting connected. Is connected, that is. Bye.